Hello all. Now we discuss globalization in India. Okay. So as I said, we have adopted the policy of liberalization in 1991. So I would like to remind you about the conditions prior to 1991 and after 1991. That means India before liberalization and India after liberalization. Okay, now India before liberalization. If you look at the foreign trade, exports and imports, so many restrictions. Okay, till 1991, and gradually these restrictions are removed from 1991. Meaning the foreign products, their goods and services are allowed in India after 1991 because of liberalization. And if you look at the foreign investments, like foreign portfolio investment and foreign direct investment, I discussed these concepts in my previous videos. Please visit them. So many restrictions were there prior to 1991. So foreign investments were not allowed, or foreign investors are not allowed to invest in India prior to 1991. As I said earlier, to make India self-reliant, this policy had been adopted, right? But after 1991, gradually these restrictions are removed with respect to the foreign investments. Okay. So all the sectors of economy, primary, secondary and tertiary sector, are opened for the private sector participation, which is known as a deregulation, right? See, as I said, we have adopted a mixed economic system with much tilt towards the socialistic pattern of economic system. So socialistic pattern of economic system means less private sector and more government sector or public sector. Okay, that is the meaning of regulation. And the policy of deregulation was adopted after 1991. Of course, there were some policies with respect to deregulation, but the deregulation is rampant after 1991. Okay. At present, almost all the sectors have been made private. Only critical sectors like atomic energy, nuclear power and space technology, etc. are under the control of the government of India. So remaining all sectors are allowed for the private players. Okay. So all the sectors of economy are open for the private sector participation. See, unless there is private sector participation, we cannot compete with the global markets. Okay, because globalization has allowed the foreign companies to sell their goods and services in India. So unless there are private players, we cannot compete with the global markets. So that's why the policy of deregulation has been adopted after 1991. Right, students? So you may wonder about why India waited till 1991 to open the doors. Okay, I have explained few points at the outset of our lecture itself, right? So to understand more deeply, the first reason why India waited till 1991 was to ensure self-reliance. Self-reliance means depending on ourselves for our needs or wants, not depending on other countries for imports. That is called self-reliance. So in order to achieve self-reliance, India after independence put barriers on foreign trade and investments, as it was felt that it was considered necessary to protect the producers within the country from foreign competition. We have discussed a few minutes back about this, right? And the next reason is India felt imports would not have allowed these industries to come up. Therefore, ban on imports except on essential items like petroleum products, capital goods and fertilizers, etc. Meaning, the then government of India felt that by allowing imports, it would greatly damage the domestic markets or the domestic industries in our country. So in order to make our industries more strong, okay, and to make our industries self-reliant with respect to their business, several restrictions were imposed on the imports. Okay, only few imports are allowed to India. What were they? Oil imports, capital goods like machines, etc., and fertilizers. Okay, So most essential items were allowed. Remaining items were not allowed into the Indian markets to support the Indian industries. Okay, so this is the second reason why India waited till 1991. And the third reason is whatever the restrictions which were imposed by the then Indian governments were in line with the protection offered by the developed countries during their early stages of development. Did you get this point? That means every country has to be given certain period of time to develop every aspect in its domain, to develop in every aspect which is in its domain. Okay, that means we have to allow a country to grow on his own instead of depending on others. That is the point. And this has been the plan, or this has been the this has been the scenario for the developed countries as well. They also enforced protectionist policies, or they also imposed restrictions on imports and exports till their economies have reached a certain stage. Okay, so India also has followed the same policy to make India self-reliant. Okay, right. And you may have a question like, why only in 1991? Why only India opened the doors of its economy in 1991? Or why India implemented the policy of liberalization in 1991? There are few reasons. The first reason is during 1980s government's politics of populism. That means in 1980s the then government had spent huge money for freebies. Freebies means there was no capital formation in the Indian economy. What is the meaning of capital formation? Capital formation means there were no establishment of new industries. Okay, due to that unemployment rampantly increased in India in those period. Okay, so during 1980s government's politics of populism. Okay, this uncontrolled or unregulated expenditure of the government led to the budget deficit, right? And the second thing is there was minor oil shock due to Iraq's invasion of Kuwait in 1990, because India is the largest importer of crude oil from the Gulf countries, right? Any kind of political turmoil over there will greatly damage the India's interest. And this had happened in 1990. So this affected the India's industrial growth. Okay, and during 1990, balance of payment situation was abysmal. Very bad, extremely bad. We will discuss what is balance of payment in our future classes. Okay, and it took $1.8 billion loan with minimum condition in January 1991 from International Monetary Fund. Okay, so the above conditions forced India to open its market for external agents. Why? Because when the markets are opened for the external agents, investments will flow in India. If the investments are invested in India, then definitely it leads to employment creation. And employment creation leads to increase in the incomes of the people. Okay, and also the Indian industries can sell their products in the foreign countries. So there are two-way benefits. Therefore, by keeping in mind these factors, the government of India has opened its doors of economy for the foreign countries. Okay. So dear students, I would like to make one point. See, whatever the topics that are being discussed till now, okay, they are just basics. They are just introduction to the Indian economy. Okay, So in the coming lectures, we are going to discuss more deeply about the various topics of Indian economy. Okay, thank you very much.